Hello, my fellow magical humans. Welcome to Practical Witch Talk. This is the show where we mix the mystical and the magical and remind you that no, you don't need a permission slip to be a witch. You just need a brain, a heart, and maybe a decent blend of tea. I'm Friday Gladheart, your cauldron stirring, misinformation clearing guide through the magical mayhem. And today we're diving into something that's been bubbling in my inbox. A strange surge in witchy rules that are, let's just say, a little too prescriptive for a path that's supposed to be decentralized. So let's talk about it. Is it helpful guidance, or is it gatekeeping wrapped in glitter? Let's begin with talking about questions that have arrived in my inbox or DMs and that I have repeatedly received. So it's not just one person's question. It is a question that's been asked by numerous students and people that have contacted me through the website or even in person during the process of doing tarot readings. The first question is it necessary to not use plastic containers of any kind to make or store magically prepared foods? This person has read it in a book, and I think that's why this is it's a good book and it's trending, but I think that's why I've been getting this question quite frequently lately. For an answer, okay, look, I love a good kitchen witch moment, but let's not demonize Tupperware, okay? Food-safe plastic is perfectly fine for storing your magical cookies, moon pies, or whatever you've whipped up during the last lunar cooking season. So yes, plastic and resins can absorb magical energy over time. They're like clingy roommates. So I recommend glass for long-term or high-octane potions. Let's say you have something that's highly acidic or highly alkaline. Try to store that in glass. If you have something really oily, I prefer glass. But if all you've got is a clean spaghetti sauce container with a missing lid, baby, that is a charm jar waiting to happen. But also, let's talk about eco-magic for a second. The best spell you can cast for the earth is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. So use what you have and enchant what you've got and upgrade when it makes sense. I highly recommend that as your plastic containers disintegrate or become unuseful, try to get some glass storage containers. I recommend borosilicate. These usually have a plastic and or silicone lid, and the lid, you don't have to have food in contact with it. You can, if you pack these containers properly, the lid is just to keep oxygen out and to protect the contents, and you don't have to fill it so far that it touches the lid. So my next question is, what about using food processors and microwaves? Y'all, if your KitchenAid is possessed, that is a separate episode. Otherwise, use your tools. There is a meditative, zen-like beauty in chopping every herb or every vegetable by hand, and I'll admit that. But let's be real, most of us are busy, and some of us have arthritis and mobility limitations. If a food processor helps you to whip up magical pesto for abundance faster, do it. It's not cheating. It's witchcraft with adaptive technology. And as for microwaves, they're all around us. 5G is a high-end radio wave that verges into the microwaves. They're not portals to the underworld. They're just electromagnetic cookers. Just avoid plastic inside them because nobody wants BPA in their prosperity muffins. And carry on with your magical meal prep. Microwaves, use what you have. There's energy saving. They can be very convenient. If you're making a lip balm or an ointment, it's an easy way to melt your oil and beeswax before you add essential oils. Microwaves are tools just like anything else. They're not intrinsically good or bad. They're a tool that you can use, so do so. The next question is it true that you can't charge food magically, for example, for love or peace, unless you are the only one eating it? And oh no, that is not how this works. That's like saying that your hug can only give you comfort if you're hugging yourself. Of course you can share magically charged food with others. It's called hospitality magic. It's the oldest form there is. Potlucks, coven feasts, cookies to give comfort to a grieving friend, holiday cooking and holiday baking. You are sharing a piece of your spell work, your intention, your love. That is literally what it is for. Just like you tell someone your banana bread contains walnuts, it's good etiquette to let them know what energetic goodies are baked into it. So say, hey, this one's for peace, this one has gluten, this one's for focus, this one has nuts, this one is double chocolate because we deserve it, etc. The last question for today is, I was told not to charge my crystals and stones right now because the energy is too powerful and too chaotic. And here's the crux of it, folks. This is that it kind of can all be boiled down to this question. Yes, the cosmic weather excuse. And look, I'm all for astrology. I love a retrograde rant as much as the next witch. But the moment that someone tells you the energy is too much for you to handle, that's not advice. That's control. That's a red flag. You are not a fragile little fern. You're a witch. If you want to charge your rose quartz during the solar flare with Taylor Swift song on repeat, do it. The only chaos that matters is whether the cat knocks it off the windowsill. Don't let someone else's superstition become your limitation. Witchcraft is not about memorizing arbitrary rules written by people who want to be your magical manager. It's about developing intuition, applying your wisdom, listening to your own spirit. So yeah, respect your elders for sure. Learn from other people's experiences, absolutely. But don't confuse tradition with authority, especially when someone's authority is based on scaring you out of your own power. You are the spell, you are the magic. The tools help, the books inspire, the content creator can be great, but the power, that's in you. So thanks for tuning in to Practical Witch Talk. If you loved today's episode, please share it with someone else who's had it up to their cauldron with magical micromanagement. And remember, you don't need permission to be powerful. Until next time, keep your herbs fresh, your plastic reused, and your magic practical. Blessed be and pass the cookies.